Hello, I'm Brian, and I am the Theoretical Gamer. And this is a video response to the Casual GM who was talking about alignments. I agree, drop alignments, because I've seen a lot of games over the years, and most of them did not have anything regarding an alignment system. My advice would be only use alignments if they represented something concrete within the system. Right? If they which most cases it does not. It's just trying to pigeonhole some vague definition of law, chaos, good, evil. The original box set D&D only had law versus chaos, law, neutral, and chaos, and it was trying to. I think the creators were fans of Michael Moorcock, among other things, because there was a big law versus chaos vibe in his books. But then in AD&D they added the good evil axis, so all of a sudden you had that 9 alignment chart, and it just opened a whole can of worms, because it's like you said, everyone has a different viewpoint of what alignment means. Recently, a couple of years ago, in a D&D game, it was like 3rd edition, I played a Paladin. And you know what? I had a good group. We didn't have any problems. But you know what? Paladins are one of those things that you hear horror stories about, either the player or the GM has a messed up idea of what a Paladin means. It's, sometimes you hear stories about the GM who just doesn't, who thinks paladins are stupid, so will say, oh, you lose your paladin powers for any reason or no reason because you got out of bed and you didn't check for babies when you put your feet down. What, did you check for babies? You could have stepped on a baby. No, I didn't check for babies. Well, then you lose your paladin powers forever. That was an evil act. Right, which is, again, a ridiculous extreme, but I tend to use ridiculous extremes in my examples because, well, they're funny. But I played a paladin, and the thing is, I did not play him as a righteous, asshole, trying to enforce his morality on the world. I did not portray him as a do no wrong, Dudley do right. I kind of portrayed him as Joe Paladin doing a job. And he could sit and he could swap dirty jokes with you around the campfire, and then you'd walk into town, and town would be like our village has been beset by goblins, and he's like, I'll get my sword, because he's a paladin. That's what he does, and and I had fun. The only time I really surprised my players is that after a fight, we ended up with there was a spare horse. Someone had been killed, and we found the horse. And my first instinctive response was, well, we should find the horse's owner and give it back to him. And the other players were like, whoa. As it turned out, the horse belonged to this family that was evil, and they were raising undead to attack the city, and it was stuff like that. And it was like, so at that point I said, okay, we can keep the horse. Spoils of war. Wartime has different rules, but during normal times, even if the family was kind of a dick, it was their horse. But to me, it's like lawful good. Some people look at and they look at alignment and they only see the extremes. And some people have a kind of mental damage where, okay, I think a lot of people have a lot of gamers, I think, a lot of geek types have a knee-jerk anti-authoritarian streak. They don't like being told what to do. When they sit down to games, it's like anyone who tries to give them a quest or an order or be bossy, like, I kill him. People tell me what to do at work or at school every day. And now I sit down at the table. I don't like being told what to do, right? And again, that's what a big problem with alignment, because they don't want to be told what to do even by their own character sheet, right? So it's so, and some of them are like, they take it to that extreme where they don't even really even know what good means. You know, like, well, if you're lawful good, that means you'll eat a baby if the law tells you that you have to. No, it doesn't. That is like objectively not a good act. Yes, but it's lawful if it's the law. You have to do it. No, you're thinking of like lawful neutral or probably lawful evil. No, a lawful good person would eat a baby. Then he would have to stop being lawful good. That's what lawful good is. No, it is not. Lawful good means you're a good person who believes in law and order. You know, you have a naturally orderly mind. Like I said, which is another thing. Alignment tends to make people stupid. You know, it chafes them, and when they feel chafed, they get stupid. Let me put it in Star Wars terms. Let's say you're a lawful. Let's say you're a member of the rebellion against the Empire. Oh, well, if you're a member of the rebellion, you're chaotic good. Because you're rebelling, and that's chaotic. And you're fighting evil, so you're good. Okay, yeah. Okay, that guy with the funny voice, he recognizes what good means as long as it's not lawful, because lawful can't possibly be good. Lawful tells you what to do. No. Look at the rebellion. They had ranks. They had a chain of command. They had a structure. They had order. Right? Otherwise, they would just be a bunch of like lone motherfuckers with blasters getting picked off one by one. They would not have been nearly as successful if they hadn't had some kind of organization. So picture this: you're some dude living in the Star Wars universe. You are lawful good, and you know you're a decent person. You take care of your dog, and you hug your kid every night, and you go to work, and you follow the rules, and because you know that life is a lot smoother if everyone follows the rules, and that's so. One day, all of a sudden, the Empire takes over, and you probably try to work within the Empire as long as you can, but eventually, your good nature can no longer blind you to the atrocities that the Empire is performing. So you know what? You make one chaotic decision to join the rebellion. Well, at that point, you stop being lawful good. You become chaotic good. No, you're not gonna like remove your entire personality and replace it with some wild, crazy, like no respect for law, order, rules, like wild man. No, you're still going to be the same person. You made one decision, so you join the rebellion, and the rebellion has ranks and orders and rules, and this is comforting to you. Yes, it makes you realize that, because if they weren't, you probably would be very, very worried. You'd be like, how are they going to achieve anything without any rules or laws or structure or organization? They're just going to be like a bunch of random cells at best, and you realize, so you happily work within that structure, and then you probably get promoted and help to figure out what the best rules are, and figure out what is the best rules to achieve the highest good. That's what lawful good is. You want to create the best rules to achieve the highest good, and of course the rebellion wins. Yay. But for the most part, is if you step back and look at it objectively, you could probably. I've seen it. I've heard it said that the best way to look at alignments is not to see them as straitjackets, but as ideals to be achieved. Like, you want to be lawful good. Well, try. You might screw up, but you can try. Again, my advice is just abandon alignment. Most games do not have alignment. It's like alignment was from D&D, the first role-playing game, and a few others tried to figure out the best way to fix alignment and come up with the best alignment system. But I think in the vast majority of things, It doesn't. It doesn't capture the complexity of the real world. You can have two opposing forces, and both of them will think of themselves as righteous and good, and they might be both righteous and good in their way, just with different belief systems or different, different aims or goals. You know, like two tribes fighting over a resource at its basic, most simple level. Like if you want two tribes fighting over a hunting ground because there's only so much game there, each one has the goal: feed my tribe, right? Neither one is evil. So, it's like law, trying to impose lawful or evil or morality on it is it's a lost cause. Just abandon it. Don't use it. Um, that's pretty much it. Peace out.